Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for what's new in QQCatalyst version 3.7.4. My name is Dickinson Marin, Product Manager here at QQ Solutions, and I'm excited to talk to you about the new features and enhancements we've included in our latest release. We've added a new Lines of Business widget, which allows you to view the top 10 lines of business by active in-term premium. I'm going to show you how you can add that to your dashboard. We've made it easy for you to import carriers and carrier groups from our NAIC master list. I'll walk you through importing some carriers. When you access a contact, you can now view how many outstanding tasks are for that contact, and I'll show you how you can mark those tasks off as completed. For agency administrators, we've now added a permission that restricts access to modifying the agent or CSR assigned to a customer or the agent CSR producer assigned to a policy. I'll show you how you can restrict that access from some of your users. We've also built new standard reports that provide detailed premium and commission information for the agency as well as the producers in the agency. And some of these reports allow you to do comparisons for production month over month as well as year over year. Okay, here we are in the QQCatalyst dashboard. To add the Lines of Business widget, you're going to click on Add Widget in the toolbar. And it's going to be here in the Graphs tab, Lines of Business. And you're going to click on Add Widget. I already have it on my dashboard. And what you're going to see is your top lines of business and what percentage of your active in-term premium they represent. You can also view a detailed view of the premium by clicking here on the Maximize Toggle button. And I can view each line of business and the exact premium they represent, the active in-term premium for each of those lines of business. To import carriers from our master NAIC list, you're going to click New Contact here on the dock and switch the contact type drop down to carriers. By default, we're going to give you the option to import from the list, or you can still enter your carriers manually. To import from the list, simply click Next, and it's going to work this way whether you're in the guided workflow or whether you're in advanced mode. And let's just say I wanted to add Travelers Group, because Travelers is one of those carriers that has a group of companies. So there's Travelers Group. I'm going to get a pop-up to select not only the parent carrier, but also the subsidiaries that belong to that parent. If you already have that carrier in QQCatalyst, we're going to show you that it already exists. In this case, we're doing it by NAIC code, not by name. So if the NAIC code exists on a carrier, we'll let you know it's already in there. But if I wanted to import a couple of carriers from the list, all I have to do is check off the ones that I actually want. So let's just say I wanted these 3 carriers to be imported. You're going to click Save, and then click Import. And if you already have a parent carrier established in Catalyst already, we'll just add those subsidiaries to the existing parent. But if the parent carrier doesn't exist, we'll create the parent for you, and we'll create the subsidiary relationships with the parent. When you access a contact in QQCatalyst, we will now show you the number of outstanding tasks on that contact. So I'm going to access Family Fresh Supermarket. And you always had the important notes here in the upper right-hand corner. Well, to the left of that, you will now see the number of outstanding tasks. If you click on the icon, you'll get the drop-down of the outstanding task. You can access the task itself by clicking on the subject. Or if you know that the task was complete, you can mark it off as complete by clicking on the green check mark. Just in case you made a mistake, you can always click Undo. And if you'd like to see more of the outstanding tasks, just click on Show More Task, and you'll be able to scroll through the outstanding tasks for that contact. Earlier I mentioned that we've added new permissions to restrict access to modifying the agent, CSR, or producer assigned to a customer or to a policy. What you're going to do is search for your employee contact, and you're going to go to the Permissions tab. Now the permissions are going to be in 2 places, the contact section and the policy section. By default, every employee has the permission to modify the agent or CSR or producer field. So to remove that permission, you're going to come over to the contact, and here it is at the bottom. It's Edit Agent on the contact or Edit the CSR on the contact. You can either double click in this section or click Edit to uncheck those checkboxes. The same thing goes for the policy section. Does this person have the ability to modify the agent, the CSR, or the producers assigned to a policy? All you have to do is click Edit and uncheck those checkboxes and save. Another change that we've made in QQCatalyst is appending the NAIC code to the carrier contacts. Whenever you're looking at a list of policies, you will now be able to see the NAIC code appended to the carrier. So if you hover over the carrier's name, you'll see the NAIC code in parentheses to the right of the carrier. You'll also see that on the list whenever you're looking at a policy. So I'm going to scroll down here on the policy information, and when I see the writing carrier, I'm also going to see the NAIC code. This is very important for the agents that are processing carrier downloads, and you get a message that the policy does not match. And the reason that the policy may not match is because the carrier, although the name may be the same, the NAIC codes may not be the same. An additional change that we've made to the download process has to do with carriers making changes on what information they send to us in a download. There are carriers now that will no longer send personal identifiable information, things like the driver's license number, the social security number, or the date of birth. What we do now in downloads is, in the case that you have a driver's license number, a date of birth, and a social, and the carrier sends us a download without that information, you will no longer lose that information. It will remain in the system. However, if you have that information in the system and the carrier sends us that information, we will update your information with what the carrier sends. But you no longer have to worry about losing things like the driver's license number, the date of birth, or social security number in the case that the information no longer comes in the downloads. We have added several new standard reports in this release to help the agency better manage outstanding premiums as well as monitor your production, not only for the agency, but for your producers. I'm going to start here at the very bottom of the list. The first report we've added, and it's actually replacing a previous report. You know it as the carrier payable report. That's now been replaced by the premium payable report. The carrier payable report only showed you outstanding premium between you and your carrier contacts. What we've done is we've modified that to be all of your carrier contacts. So your carriers, your parent carriers, as well as your MGAs. Any outstanding premium between you and any one of those contacts is now going to show up in this premium payable report. You'll see the billed contact over on the left-hand side, as well as the outstanding balance. Now, the billed contact, again, it could be the writing carrier if there is no parent. It could be the parent carrier for carriers like Progressive and Travelers that have a ton of subsidiary carriers underneath one group, or it can be your MGAs. For those of you that like to see the premium payable, but you'd like to see specifically which policies make up the balance on the premium payable report, there's another report called the Premium Payable Detailed. I'm going to run that one, and instead of just showing me a summary of the premium that's outstanding, you'll actually see which policies and customers that premium is related to. So here it is, the same report, except I have a lot more detail. The billed contact is going to be at the top here, and you'll see the customer and the policy for which the premium is owed. You'll see what was due, how much has been paid so far, and what the balance is. Another set of reports that we've added is the monthly production report for your producers and the yearly production report for your producers. Let's do the yearly one first. This one allows me to track production from a producer with year-over-year comparisons. So in the case that I wanted to compare 2015 to 2014 and 2013, you have the option of selecting whether you're tracking just new business, renewal, or rewrite. But to see comparisons over all of them, just leave that with nothing inside the field. The same thing goes for the producers. You can view information for all of your producers or one of your producers at a time. Now, it's very important to note that in Catalyst, you can have multiple producers on the same policy. So in the case that you put in one producer, we're going to show you every single policy where that producer is listed by themselves, as well as when they're listed with a group, so you can see how productive they are when they write by themselves versus when they write policies with a group. So in each of these producer groupings, you're going to find my name. And what you can do is compare how many policies were generated and how many customers own those number of policies, how many fall under the new business, renewal, and rewrite categories, how much premium was generated for that year, how much agency commission was generated for that year, and how much producer commission was generated for that year, and you'll see the year-over-year comparisons and whether or not whether it was an increase or a decrease year over year. And at the very bottom of the report, you'll see a total summary for that producer. That's the year over year. That's the yearly production report for the producer. Now, the next one is the monthly production report for the producer, which shows you the month-over-month comparisons within a given year, or you can do month-over-month over several years. So this allows you to at least narrow down with your producers which months are they the most productive, and then you can come up with some kind of game plan to help them to increase their production on the months where they're really slow. So here we go again, policy business type. I'll leave that as optional, as well as the producer. Well, let me go ahead and put my name in here. And let's check out the comparison month over month over a 2-year period. So now I'm going to be able to see the same numbers, except it's more detailed. Month over month, I can see how well my producer is doing in terms of production. Not only can I see month over month, but remember, it's going month over month over a 2-year period. So from January of 2014 all the way through December of 2015, I can view my producer's production. And I can see it specifically when they're working with a team or whether they're working on their own. And at the very bottom, you'll be able to see the summary of all of their production. That's the monthly production report producer. We've added the same reports for the agency as a whole. You're going to see the yearly production report for the agency. Let's go ahead and run that one as well. This one is going to show the year-over-year comparisons for the agency's production in total. And you can elect to view only new business, renewals, or rewrites, or you can view all of them. I'm going to go ahead and run to compare 2015 to 2014. And as you can see here in 2014, 0 customers that owned 0 policies. There was basically no production in this specific office. But then if you go to office number 3, I can see that I at least had 3 customers that owned these 18 policies that were generated. 15 of them were new business. I had 3 renewals and 0 rewrites. And you can see the year-over-year comparisons. And then I have my main office, which was, a lot more production in my main office. 230 customers own 401 policies, 289 of those being new business, and I can compare those year over year. Now, very important to note that this isn't the total number of customers in your database. This is not total number of customers in your office. This is how many of these policies were owned by how many customers. Okay, so 230 customers owned, unique customers owned these 401 policies. And that's the yearly production report agency, and you also have the monthly production report for the agency, which allows you to see the month-over-month comparison within a given year or within given years. So I can say, let's compare January through December, all the way from 2014 to 2015, and you'll be able to compare your production month-over-month within the 2-year period. This really helps you to narrow down which months your agency can do better in. Lots of opportunities being cited with these new reports. Another report that we've added is the clients with no email addresses. When we released scheduled emails, we received a lot of requests from customers saying, Dickinson, I'd love to use scheduled emails, but I have a lot of people in my database that don't have an email address. So we've built this to help you to at least get in touch with those customers or prospects and get an email address from them. Now, you can do this specific for an agent or a CSR, or a specific contact type, customers or prospects. But if you wanted to do an email blast to your prospects for the products and services that your agency offers, I'm going to go ahead and select prospects, and you can say specifically if they're active or inactive. Let's go ahead and run this report. We've provided, if they're personal, who the contact is as well as their contact information. And if they're a commercial contact, we've added in who the primary contact is and what the primary contact's information is as well. So at least you can hand this off and have your agents and CSRs get on the phone, get this updated information so you can include these people when you do an email blast. Another report that we've added is a daily closeout per carrier report. This report shows you who you need to reconcile premium to because a payment was taken in your office. So I'm going to go ahead and run that report, let's just say from October 1st to today. Now you can be very specific about which billed contact you're looking for, but let's go ahead and just run it for all billed contacts. And it's going to show you who you need to reconcile because a payment was taken in your office. We'll show you the billed contact, who the customer is, and how much was received that needs to be reconciled. Another report that we've added is the outstanding task report. Now this one's going to show you outstanding task per employee contact. So in the case that you wanted to hand everyone a report of their outstanding tasks for them to work on, you can show that to them. Let's go ahead and do January 1st of 2015 till today's date. You can be specific about the priority or the status or who it's assigned to. So I'm going to look for everything that's assigned to me. And you'll be able to view the outstanding tasks, not just the ones that's assigned to me by myself, but the ones that's also assigned to me and someone else. Another report that we've added is the active customers with no active policies, especially when it comes to finding out why you don't have any active policies for this person marked off as an active customer. Besides that reason, another reason we've gotten from agents is because I want to go and mark these people off as inactive. You can be specific about who the agent or the CSR is for these active customers with no active policies, or you can just run the report. We've provided who the contact is as well as all of their contact information, just in case you wanted to work from this list and not search for the contact within QQCatalyst. And the last report that we've added in is the active book of business by class report. This one gives you your entire active intern book of business, and it's broken down by policy class. So you can search specifically for just your commercial lines or just your personal lines, or you can view all of them. Okay? You can do it specifically for a carrier or an MGA or a parent carrier, specific to an agent or CSR, specific to a policy business type, and it's going to show you all active in-term policies as of today's date. Now I'm going to go ahead and run the report, and you're going to see it not only broken down by class, but also broken down by line of business within that class. So here is my customer. Here is all the policy information, the current premium, the current commission, annualized premium, and annualized commission. And what I'm looking at right now first is my personal line. So you'll see all the lines of business specific to personal lines. And then you're going to see your commercial lines. So you can see specifically the size of your personal book, your commercial book, your agricultural book, your bonds, your life, your health. And then at the bottom, you'll see your total current premium, total current commission, total annualized premium, and total annualized commission. Thanks again for joining us for What's New in QQCatalyst version 3.7.4. A lot of what you've seen in this release is coming directly from your feedback. We appreciate you sharing your ideas on enhancing the system as well as ideas for new features. Continue to share your feedback with us, and it's only going to lead to QQCatalyst getting better and better. Thank you for your time, and have a great day.